Hi everybody, my name is Alan. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. Wow, this has been some kind of time. This is, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, has been just an extraordinary time. And you know, we've done this show for a long time, as most of you know, as most of you have seen the show on different cable stations around the country. Now all of them are available on Google Video, on YouTube, in England, on Sky Media Channel 200. And so I know a lot of you have seen the shows and know that we've been doing them for quite some time. And you probably could say that every couple of weeks is an extraordinary time, and every couple of weeks, you know, between the shows, usually we do them every month or so, that so much goes on in our individual lives and our collective lives and our extraordinary planet here. But now it seems that time, in a sense, is speeding up, that energy is speeding up, that the need to come together, the need to truly collaborate, the need to recognize our glory, recognize our vastness, and to leave the separation, to leave the fear, to leave the old paradigms based on fear and separation and selfishness, are crumbling right before our eyes. There's literally a meltdown of the old paradigms. And somehow we knew they were coming. We knew that these old paradigms were not working. They were not serving the common good. They were not serving the love. They were not serving the truth. They were not serving God in any true sense of that word, in the sense of God being love, in the sense of God being the infinite, in the sense of God being inclusive. And now it's happening. And now it is our job, it is our destiny, all of us, every one of us listening to this show, everyone who hears these words, whenever they hear them, that now is the time for us to come together in recognition of that love, in recognition of that oneness. And how we can do that is in a way unknown, because the new paradigms haven't exactly been built yet. The new paradigms haven't manifested themselves. We're somewhere on the bridge between heaven and earth. These are only metaphors, because there is no heaven, there is no earth, there's only love, there's only oneness. But in this transition from one dimension to another, from the third to the fourth to the fifth, in our recognition and our coming into our glory, there is, in a sense, a bridge, although it is only a metaphor, because there's only one. There only is only one. And yet we play out this game where there is a bridge. And now we come together to build those new paradigms. And that is really, truly the only way we can do it, as a species together, as a species in harmony. And those ideas, because that's all they are, those concepts that in any way separate us, that in any way divide us from ourselves and any of the other beings and animals and trees and oceans on this planet, is just false. It's the illusion of this game. And now is the time for us to come joyously and lovingly, really, into a recognition of that and into an experience of our true vastness and our true infinite quality, in the true inclusiveness of the love of God. And any country, any religion, anything that doesn't speak to that infinite, that doesn't speak to that inclusion, that doesn't speak to that joy, that doesn't speak to that connectedness, is false. And we know it more and more, and those are part of the old paradigms of the financial systems, the old paradigms of countries and religions. Anything that doesn't really, truly support the love and the oneness is crumbling. And it is, on some level, frightening. And yet, on some level, on the true level, it's exhilarating, because we're coming into ourselves. We're coming into the love. We're coming into the oneness. We're coming into the brotherhood and sisterhood of humankind, with all the animals and all the trees and all the one. We're coming into the one. And tonight's guest, Annette Sassou, dedicates her life to that. I mean, she's just an extraordinary spiritual counselor, an energy healer, a karmic healer, a psychic medium, a spirit channel, an ascension guide. She's an author of extraordinary new book, Portal to Spirit. She has an amazing history of coming into that connection, of helping her connect to spirit. By the time she was 14 years old, she had survived 2 murder attempts. And that just intensified her connection to the spirit world and to that desire and that hunger and that destiny to have that experience and to share that experience over and over again. And she literally travels the world doing that. And we have 2 extraordinary videos that, you know, come in from all over the world, from people who are having that experience, of people who are manifesting that experience, dedicated to the oneness. That's what this show's about. That's what Annette's about. That's what the videos are about. And we have 2 tonight by extraordinary musician David Young, and then a really wonderful piece, Cat House on the Kings, about a woman who, you'll see the video, it's extraordinary. You'll just love it, Cat House on the Kings. And as most of you know, who've watched the show before, certainly in the last few years, we're in the middle of this unbelievable art project. It came as a dream, it came as a vision, that because we have this medium, because we have this access literally to the world, to reach out as a healing, as an acupuncture for the planet, to just give the opportunity out to create a new original piece. No skill level, any format, any size, no time limit, to produce a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth. And we've been getting pieces literally from all over the planet. And tonight, we have 2 extraordinary pieces, one from Annette, you know, who, when she heard about the project, that's really how we got to know each other. And then she created this, manifested this extraordinary piece for the Bridging Heaven and Earth art project. And another 10-year-old extraordinary being from this area, my beloved son Cameron Childs, has produced another piece. So, you know, just an incredible opportunity to see that connection, that desire, that hunger, that destiny manifested in so many ways. And that's what we have to do. Whatever our gifts are, we have to serve the love. You know, we have to serve the love, period. Okay, so let's start with a short meditation, then we'll have the David video, and we'll have Annette and Art, and we have to serve the love. Thank you. So, okay, the first way we're going to serve the love tonight on Bridging is a beautiful Paco Bells canon, David Young, a new friend of Bridging. He's done a lot of music, beautiful music videos that we'll be showing again and again. So it's David Young. Enjoy. everybody. So that was a beautiful video. Thank you, David, for sending them to us. And the picture you're seeing in between us is something Annette did for the art project, The Violet Flame. So actually, why don't you open by talking about this? Welcome, and why don't you talk a little about your experience in doing it for the art project and the healing and all that?
Yes, well, thank you so much, first of all, for having me here today. And I was so inspired from your project, really, and I felt so free to make this piece of work because I'm an amateur painter in this regard, but it didn't matter because you said it's all skill levels. And when I was sitting in front of the canvas, I began to see the violet flame. And the violet flame is basically a merging of the blue ray of the fatherly strength, courage, faith, the blue ray, the blue flame, and the pink ray of love, of cosmic love. And when these two fuse together, it creates the violet flame. And it hits the earth, and it emanates, and it radiates, and it surrounds the earth then. And so the whole energy went into that, and I personally, I feel really strongly about the energy more than the artistic skill of it, really. And when you feel it, when you put your hand on it, it literally emanates the energy of the violet flame. And I do work together with Saint Germain as my gatekeeper for my channelings, and so I somehow I feel very much connected to the violet flame.
Well,
Yes.
it's interesting because, I mean, you know how I feel about the project. We've talked about that before, but
Yes.
that's actually, you know, really the true intention that, you know,
Yes.
it's available for everyone. And it's all about intention, and it's all
Yes.
about, you know, bringing forth that. And it doesn't have to have a
Yes.
skill level, and yet it's
Yes.
extraordinary. I mean, really,
Thank
it
you.
really is. So,
Yes.
so why don't you talk a little bit about just when you knew that your life was going to be dedicated to serving the love?
Yes. As you mentioned before, I had quite a turbulent youth, really, with having survived these two murder attempts, which were actually a blessing in disguise. May I add to that? I had obviously agreed to have these experiences before I came here to this life. And the two different gentlemen that have served me with this experience had agreed prior to their life to help me with experiencing this. So having this said, that already somehow created an opening to the spiritual. It created an extremely strong connection to Creator. As I experienced more consciously when I was 14, the second attempt, there was such a struggle when I experienced it. And there was that one moment where, I have to say, it happened in a swimming pool when this gentleman tried to kill me by drowning. And as he put me underwater, I already had exhaled, so there was really no air in my lungs. And so I was fighting this and struggling. And when it started to become dark around my field, I was literally in a split second, I was screaming inside my head to God. I said, listen, I did everything I could. I fought. I don't know what to do anymore. It's really up to you now. I don't know what to do. I did it all. I did give it my all, so to speak. And in that split second, once I surrendered and literally gave it up to Creator, to Spirit, in that instant, this gentleman let go. And he jumped out of the pool and he ran away. His work was done, obviously, because that was the moment that was supposed to be given to me. Once we surrender to the divine will of Spirit, of Creator, we're safe. Because this is all an illusion we experience here in this third dimension anyways. So that was one of the experiences. And after that, I went through my puberty and through my early 20s, and I had to work through all the other emotional stuff from my experiences. So I had to work through all this, and obviously Spirit World kept me really a little bit away from all my true purpose in life for the longest. And so I went along with my life. And a few years ago, my grandfather that has passed the day I was born, he somehow was sent in spirit into my life a few years ago, like 3-4 years ago. And he said, Annette, it's time. He came every night to my bedroom, and he made life miserable, really. He was literally haunting me. And I was like, I just want to sleep. What is up with that? And finally, I stopped resisting. And it was then told, Annette, stop messing around with all the you know, other businesses that you do or professions, because my whole family is basically channelers, psychics, healers, and I just so didn't want to be like them. Honestly, I was rebelling in the other way. And when it was time, I stopped resisting, and then I just really started to allow to happen. And I had to start first with a study course. So I was basically told, something told me I have to make a study course. I'm like, a study course about what? I don't know anything. It was a psychic study course. I said, I don't know about that. My family knows probably 10 times more than I do. But in researching all this, I created a psychic institute. And I started researching. I interviewed a lot of channelers and psychics, and for that purpose. So Spirit like tagged me along and said, okay, get first your feet wet and learn how to learn your craft, you know, stay on the right side, learn to distinguish light and darkness, and learn your craft. Be very discerned in who you're inviting into your body when you channel, things like this. And so I started with that, and that was fine. I worked in the metaphysical center for a while, and I felt very comfortable there. I had my clients, I was situated, great. And then all of a sudden, one night, I came home and I laid on the couch and I said, okay, I'm done, Creator, thanks, but I'm done. I went to flip the TV on, and in that moment, I was told, Annette, you're not done. Like,
you're just getting started, girl.
What do you mean?
Right, you haven't done anything yet.
Right.
Get on it, will you?
Right.
We have a lot that needs doing, and you
Yes.
think you're done.
And I had my feet up already. I'm like, I was working for you all day.
Right.
Now you want me to get, well, you need to write something down, what we're telling you. And I'm like, I hope it's just one page, you know? And I got started. So every night when I came back from working already, I then was told the next page, the next chapter, like, when is this going to end? I don't know. And so I kept doing what I was told, because I stopped arguing with Spirit very early on. It was just, you know, it's a loose battle on my end, really. So I said, fine, you want me to do that? Fine. I sit in front of my computer, I channeled, I did what I needed to do. As I approached the end of the book, Portal to Spirit, all of a sudden people popped up in my life. They came to me and said, listen, about that book you're writing. And I'm like, who told you I'm writing a book? What? I'm like in the closet of the, you know, in the author's closet. And I'm like, this is just a little private project. I don't know, it's just, you know. And he said, no, this is something that needs to go out and get to people. You think you're doing this just for fun? This is not for fun. You're supposed to bring this out to people. I'm like, okay, what does it take? And so the right people came into my life to take this book then to the next level, and it took a life of its own. So I went on a book tour in the beginning of the year, and I traveled throughout 13 states, and I was blessed to meet so many wonderful people awakening. They were awakening within just 3 months. I could see it in the audiences, the shifts that were going through the masses, through the society, through humanity, literally. Yes, I do a small contribution to this, but so do many, many light workers. And everybody is weaving their gifts into the fabric of the planet, into the energy fields, and so do all the other beings around us that are assisting us so greatly. And so people are waking up, and it's a good thing. And things are shook up now. All the belief systems, all structures, old structures, religious beliefs, society beliefs, financial beliefs, all this is crumbling to make room for the new. And it's all in a mass consciousness. It starts there. It starts with every single person in clearing and healing what has weighed us down for so long. Over thousands of years, we incarnated so many times. And every time we added a little bit more to our backpack that we were carrying with us. Now is the time. Now is the time to clear.
It was weighing us down pretty good, huh?
Yes, it did. Very subtle. And the shadow, the darkness, what some might call it, or negative energies, whatever you want to call it, disharmony, they all have it has its purpose. It served its purpose to show us what we need to heal. So it's basically serving the process. So we need to distinguish it. We need to recognize it when it comes into our lives, yes. But look at it. Ask it, what is it you want to tell me? What is it I need to look at now? Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Good night.
Bless you.
Good luck.
Good night and good luck.
Right.
I bless you on your way.
Right.
And that cycle is coming to an end. It has done its purpose, and everybody involved in it, because it manifested in certain societal structures, in certain humans too. And so that cycle all is coming to an end now. And that transition now, it causes a lot of stir and a lot of fear comes up now for every single one of it. It's a great opportunity. Every time you experience fear, pain, guilt, all these emotions now that are coming up very tremendously, very intensely, allow yourself to feel it. Don't push it away. Don't run away from it. Because the more we push it down, the stronger it gets. The more we push it into the shadow of our being, it really wants to come out, even more so. So we might as well just allow ourselves to feel it. Because what happens if we truly surrender to our fear and to our pain? It gets smaller, it disappears, it heals.
Yeah, it had the lights on
yes,
the garden.
the light was allowed in.
Consciousness.
Yes, yes, and that trust in Creator is increasing that way. And once this trust is getting strong, it's like a fine thread for now. This thread is becoming thicker and stronger because we have the illusion, or we live in this illusion, we are separated from Source, from Creator. So it is, the veil is thinning, and we are merging more and more with Creator energy, with Creator itself, and we're merging with all the beings of the fifth dimension, with all these worlds and realms of the fifth dimension of the light, and they're joining us. It's a coming together of humanity, because humanity truly has just been a part of a big experiment. Many thousands of years ago, we have agreed that we want to experience a separation from God, from Source, and we have been allowed free will. It's also called the fall from grace. Many different interpretations are about that out there. And so this cycle is coming to an end, finally, and we're waking up from this dream, the dream of fear and pain. And so as we wake up in separation, and so we are waking up, this is the awakening. And so the bondage of all this is falling away. The time is now. And 2012 is not a fixed point. 2012 can begin for everyone now. It is a process, it's the beginning. But we need to allow it now.
I mean,
we don't push it away.
For those who are unfamiliar with the Mayan prophecies of 2012, why don't you talk about that a little, and just as a metaphor.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sure. Well, I would like to go back a little bit to the time of the Mayans. The Mayans was a group of people, a group of population that obviously experienced ascension back then. They have traveled to the new Earth, to the fifth dimensional Earth, to an ascended Earth already. It was a small group of people on this planet compared to the rest of us. They left us a clue though. Said, listen guys, around 2012, on December 21st, 2012, the rest of the planet will follow, will ascend. Ascension, I want to clarify things because many times people of the audience ask me, ascension, do I have to die? What is going to happen? Am I going to have to die? Not so at all. What it really is that our vibrational frequencies of our bodies, our physical bodies, will increase to a point where momentum has been created, where we will just transition by staying alive, a full conscious experience of going into the fifth dimension, into the new Earth, where everything has been dissolved. No fears, pains, feelings of separations, all this has to be healed. This is our part that we do. The rest of all the dimensions are contributing to the shift. Mother Earth is contributing to this shift. But we will ascend. It's a conscious choice. We have free will. Now the Mayans, they left this clue with a calendar, yes, that ends. And so did, by the way, different civilizations too. Right. So they did this transition. And I want to add on to that with the Mayans. They have returned. They have come back. They have agreed to reincarnate in the bodies of several different light workers because they know already how it's done. And so they reincarnate over several generations. Every time a little bit because humanity wasn't ready, but every time a little bit of a shift has occurred. And so we are ready now. It is coming to that point where we create that momentum of ascension. Yes, and that is 2012.
So when you talk about, and you received this channeling and this book is out and now available, Portal to Spirit, how do you mean that people can come into this recognition, this knowing? What is the portal? How do they come to the portal? How do they walk through the portal?
Yes, yes. The essence of this book, what it creates is the connection to the divine. The veil is thinning by reading the book to the source. That thin thread is getting stronger by reading these lines. There's energy embedded between the words, as with so many channelings that we read. Usually there's energy embedded between the words. While we're reading them, information is downloaded that will aid us and assist us in this process.
So vibrationally, yes. it'll be bringing us towards the portal, yes. and bringing us through the portal.
Yes, yes, and that portal, then there are a few really hands-on exercises in this book as well, in order to get to this portal, your personal portal to spirit, to make this connection to spirit, because it does assist us now as a GPS system, so to speak, as we maneuver through these kind of turbulent times. And it's very important to connect, be still for a moment, switch off the TV occasionally, and just be still, just be and hear, begin feeling this connection, because we distract ourselves all the time. There's all the time something happening, 24 hours a day. And so it is time to become still, and Portal to Spirit leads to that point where we'll be able to hear and to perceive what we need to perceive in order to merge with Spirit. And
so the book, besides having that energetic feel to it, also has, direct tools and exercises, yes. to help in opening, to remaining open for things like that.
Yes, there are a few meditations in it too. Specific things that we can do in order to make this connection happening and to open more and to become these divine beings that we truly are. Recognizing the God spark in every person and sending that God spark love all the time, because that's what we are, divine beings.
Well, I mean, it would be just coming into the fullness of that.
Yes.
I mean, the recognition of that, and,
yes.
and the no separation of that.
Yes.
In other words, the way I describe it is, the Father and I, the Goddess and I are one, and there's no
yes,
separation.
Exactly. Yes. That's what it is about.
And it's almost that the way I would look at it, it's almost inevitable now. I mean, it's happening, and it's just, how smoothly we allow it to happen in our individual lives.
Yes, yes. In the beginning, a few years ago, still, when somebody was a channeler or a psychic medium, or people sometimes would look up and, oh my God, I wish I would be like this. I wish I could see all these beautiful beings that are around us all the time. It's happening to everybody. How we deal with it is a different story. You see, there is that group of people that longs for that connection, and there are those that are very confused about it, to say the least, fearful. Sometimes too, that, wait a minute, in my belief system, the way I grew up, that was not what I was taught, and it doesn't say that.
Doesn't fit,
and in my church, we don't say that, or in my temple. And so, but they are confronted with it just the same. And for all these, it's important to just allow it, because it comes from the divine source. And we are all capable of being that connected, and more so, we're getting more and more connected.
Right, we've been saying a lot on the show. I mean, whatever you think you are, you're more. So I mean, how do we get that place where, we're just feeling the infinite, we're feeling the inclusion, we're feeling the oneness, and that's not what we identify with at all.
That's true.
Any of the, the separate types of ways that people can look at us, or, that in history people have identified themselves with.
Yes, a lot of conditioning had happened before that, but all these belief systems now are falling apart.
Right.
So it's time, and so we recognize that and allow it. It's about allowing it, these experiences that we, dreams and energies we feel, beings that we might see, and yes.
Okay. All right, so maybe what we'll do now is have the second video. You're going to love this. It's Cat House on the Kings. Linnea Latanzio, this incredible woman who really manifested this extraordinary place you know, of love, and it's love of animals, and really it's love of the planet and people. And Jack Perez is the videographer of this, and we want to really thank them for letting us have it. Then we'll see a beautiful piece by Cameron Childs, Kitty in Heaven. So enjoy.
Well, I've always felt that if they don't have a home, at least they have a life. And I had the 6 acres, and to me, it's not a life if they're in a cage. They need to be able to run full speed and climb a tree. That's a cat.
Hi, my name is Jack Perez, and I made this video, and I didn't do it for any money. I did it because I think people should be aware of this incredible place called the Cat House on the Kings, which is about 4 hours north of Los Angeles. It's a place I kind of stumbled on accidentally, and it's incredible because it's no kill, it is no cage, it is a sanctuary in the truest sense of the word. Basically, it's like Planet of the Cats. I'd never seen anything like it. You know, there must have been 500 cats, all living in harmony, ferals and domesticated cats, and all just living their lives. You know, some, on the ground, some in trees, some in the house, all just very cool.
Well, it started out just with the inside of the house, and it's a 5-bedroom house. Anybody that wants to go in or out can. There's cat doors and dog doors everywhere all the way around it. And there's probably 10 feeding stations on the properties, and so they're allowed to go wherever they want, and there's always food and water wherever they go.
It's really a paradise for these animals, especially for those who would otherwise be in a cage. And it's not just cats, it's dogs too. They've rescued so many dogs as well, and the dogs live in complete harmony with the cats, which is another amazing thing to behold. What's incredible about it is, there are 500 to 700 cats there at any given time, but the place is completely clean. It doesn't smell catty. We have 4 cats of our own. We go away for 5 minutes, we come in, it smells like cats. No, this place is just clean, and the vibe there is so positive because the cats know that they're absolutely safe and totally loved. And at the heart of this place is this amazing woman, Linnea Latanzio, who's been running it for 16 years.
I feel almost like a waitress.
And she has help, but really she is the force behind this incredible place.
When I was a child, all I ever wanted was a kitten, and my mom would not let me have one. So she's sorry now. Well, actually, I moved here in 1983, single woman, divorced, and so I just did things. We went out to lunch and to the movies and did all those very superficial, shallow, and I would say, there's something I'm supposed to be doing. There's something I know deep down in my heart, there's something I'm supposed to be doing. And I never knew what it was until 1992. And I went to a local shelter, and I ended up volunteering to bottle feed 15 kittens. And by the end of the year, I was on 96, and I adopted 96. I thought, I could do this. And the next year, I got involved with a couple other rescues. They said, oh, please, they're going to kill it. Oh, please take this cat that's going to die. So then I ended up with 150 by the 3rd year. And then I went to work for a veterinarian so that I could learn how to take care of them, and learned quite a bit. And after you've taken in and lived with hundreds of animals, you see it and you know what's wrong. And now I have done over 16,000 in 16 years.
I just want to point out that this woman is not the, proverbial crazy cat lady. She's not a hoarder. This is a woman who's dedicated her life to these animals. Every one of these animals is up for adoption, and many of them do get adopted, but the ones that don't will always have a home here. That's the whole point of the place. I just thought it was time people heard about this sanctuary. They're nonprofit, they exist on donations, but they have very little publicity, and as a result are pretty much under the radar. It's definitely time the Cat House on the Kings got on the map, and hopefully they'll receive the kind of financial help they really need and truly deserve. Seriously, check it out. You won't be sorry. Thanks.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So that was some kind of video, was it? A Cat House on the Kings. Thank you, Linnea. Thank you, Jack, for making that available to us in the world. It's really, and thank you for doing it. So in the picture you're seeing in between Annette and I is called Kitty in Heaven, done by 10-year-old Cameron Childs. Just an extraordinary piece. He just, you know, really felt the love, really wanted to serve the love, and really produced this extraordinary piece, Kitty in Heaven. So we're very fortunate to have anybody who wants to become involved, anybody who feels the calling to do a healing, to do an acupuncture for the planet, no skill level, no age requirement, nothing, any format, any size, jewelry, collages. It's infinite, it's inclusive, and we'd love to have you, anyone out there as part of it. So Annette, we were talking earlier, and at the opening I was talking a lot about love, and I was talking a lot about, like, in a sense, unconditional love, and I know that's so much a part of you and what you're trying, the energy you're trying to get out and the message. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, yes. In my work with many of my clients, also when I do hypnotherapy or counseling, it comes up, yeah, I know about love and unconditional love, but how do I do that? Because, you know, when I'm with my partner or spouse or husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, you know, I love them, but, you know, it can be challenging at times to love somebody unconditionally. And when I was working with Saint Germain, the answer to that was truly just see in that moment the God spark in that other person. Just tell yourself, God, I know you're hiding in there, and I will be sending you love. And I keep sending you love continuously. It will bypass all drama, all emotions, everything that is cluttering or trying to prevent unconditional love, which is okay because our emotions come up and they need to be felt, and that's fine. However, while we're in that, we need to understand and acknowledge that this person is trying the best they can in that particular moment with everything they feel, always. And when we then send that love to that God spark in that person, we see it in their eyes, and we can visualize this with a pink ray entering our head, coming out through our eyes, through our heart, and we beam this literally to that God spark. The person has no other choice as to receive and experience that love, truly. And so it can experience healing automatically as well. Try it sometime. You will notice within seconds, the energy will shift, it will change. In the middle of an argument, just say, okay, just right now, I could really like, scream or do something. In that moment, see that light in that person, that is in that person. See it in other arguments or in other situations, in the child that is in front of you, in the animal that is in front of you, the pet maybe that is acting up or anything. Just understand and acknowledge and recognize that spark of light within that being in front of us and send it love and see what happens. And also acknowledging the emotions we experience in that moment. So we experience anger, frustration, pain, hurt, shame, whatever it is. And send that emotion love. Send that pink ray to that emotion. Acknowledge it. Say, thank you, great. Now I experience that anger that was waiting to come out. Thank you for this gift, because now I can finally send it love and compassion from the infinite source. It's infinite. There's plenty of that love. Until we get to the point where we acknowledge it's all within us already. And it's eternal and infinite as well. And it is expanding. We're making it more and more room now. So this is a hands-on practice tool that we can begin practicing with everybody we encounter. Watch what happens. The change in that person. It dissolves into something truly beautiful and magnificent. Yes. So this is about unconditional love, and sometimes we ask ourselves, yeah, unconditional love, but you know what? I mean, there's only so much I gotta give, you know. And by the way, I loved you so much right now, and I did so much for you. What's in it for me? Because these questions, these come up in a relationship, in dealing with people. If we work with somebody, if we're in a relationship or with children or with pets, whatever we encounter, there's always a limit all of a sudden that we reach where we say, all right, I give. Now there is a limit to that. Once we understand love, not as a doing, but as an ability, and also to love for love's sake, just give it. Just give it out freely. Acknowledge your pain or whatever comes up. Don't suppress it. Acknowledge it. Allow it to feel it. But still, just keep going and just keep giving this love for love's sake. Just for love's sake, unconditionally, asking nothing in return. Just give it freely. There's infinite amounts of love out there.
Yeah,
Yes.
we talk about it a little bit as being love in motion. You know,
Yes.
that there's nothing else. You're just
Yes.
receding, and that's the only vibration you
Yes.
experience and the only vibration you give off. And the
Yes.
vibration of love is abundant, it's infinite, it's inclusive,
Yes.
it's beautiful, it's joyous.
Yes, exactly. And this is where we're heading to, that we become beings vibrating on pure love energy. This is where we're heading towards to. So we might as well start now, allowing to feel it, allow this feeling to expand within us, this energy that is already there within us. Allow it to expand in your heart center, this opening of the heart, and then allow just to channel it through. Just let it run through. Because every time we do that, something is a little bit left for us too, which is beautiful. It heals us at the same time. Yes.
And in your book, Portal to Spirit, you have certain techniques and meditations and things like that. Do you think would be a good time to just bless everybody, give everybody the opportunity to hear one of these meditation techniques, and you could, you know, like kind of teach it or you know, walk or, you know, allow people to experience it with you?
Yes, sure. The meditation that I have thought of for today's show here, it's actually the meditation to the portal, to spirit. So this is one of the ways in connecting to the source, to God. And the way actually this meditation came through, it uses a bridge that we're very familiar with. It is a bridge through heaven. And it's interesting, the name of your show also is Bridging Heaven and Earth. It is the understanding that we have in our minds from the source and heaven, and in heaven being everything pure and light. And so it was pretty neat when it came through in the book, because I thought by myself, as I'm a reader, just myself as it comes through, like that's so neat, because it uses exactly where we at, and it takes us then to the next level. So in this meditation, we are moving through heaven or into heaven in order to make that connection, even though we both know that heaven exists all around us, but it uses this beautiful bridge to get there.
Good.
So if you like...
yeah, why don't you just look at that camera and just do to the audience.
All right, now. All right, now. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale deeply, white light, and exhaling love, pink ray. Allowing yourself to relax into this feeling of love. Allow yourself to feel this energy now expanding in your heart as we call in all beings of the light and of the love consciousness. And they may surround you. They are walking with you through your life. Allow yourself now to feel this love deeper. relaxing into this feeling. Allow yourself now to see, feel, and perceive a beautiful Merkaba in front of you, a vehicle of light. It looks like two pyramids melted with each other. It is out of pure light energy. So you allow yourself to enter this beautiful vehicle of light. And you feel these joyous and buoyant energies surrounding your being. Breathe it in. And it takes you up higher and higher now to an escalator. And you step on this escalator, effortless. And this escalator now is taking you up and higher. And you feel calm and peaceful. When you arrive at the end of the escalator, you see white light surrounding yourself. And as you look down, you see white clouds, puffy clouds. You feel light and peaceful. And in front of you now, you see a bench. You have a seat there on this bench now. Become peaceful. Now, there are two light beings, two angels, coming to pick you up on both sides. And they lift you up, upwards now, to a very, very cozy, warm, nice place. It looks like a lounge. Very comfortable. Allow yourself to relax into this moment. And you set your intent now to connect to Creator. And you state your request. And you desire to hear, feel, or perceive the presence of Creator now. And now, say, I'm here. I am here. Ask yourself a question that you want to state now, and allow the answer to come in now. And once you are done, it is time now to return. And these two beings bring you back to this bench where you find yourself sitting on this bench now. And next to this escalator, there is an opening to a beautiful slide. And you state the command, return. And you sit on this beautiful slide and slide down. And so it is time now to return to full consciousness, to open your eyes, to take a deep breath in.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. The more and more we practice that, the more and more intense the experience becomes. It is our intention that will open up all. And it's just a small tool to allow this to happen more and more. And we can assign literally a voice, a separate voice that we always dreamed of. How do we picture or how do we imagine the voice of Creator to sound? And it's wonderful. So we set up a channel, literally, for the voice of Creator or Source. Because it resonates with us. And this is how Creator knows to reach us. Yes, yes. And we assign it. And that is beautiful. Or it comes in, whatever feels right for us. And so it keeps going, and so it becomes more and more part of our daily life. And it will allow us to move through life more effortless. Do I make a left turn? Do I make a right turn? Things like this in life, now in these turbulent times.
Yeah, you would almost call it being in touch with intuition, being
yes.
in touch with Source. Yeah.
Yes, yes, with that inner voice, this inner guidance system.
There's no reason anymore, there's just that inner guidance.
Yes.
So at the opening I was talking about serving the love, that now is the time for us to serve the love.
Yes.
What does that mean to you and how would you describe that?
Serving the love really starts with us first. As we heal and resolve all the fears and pains, love has more space to evolve and to unfold. And serving the love is sometimes a small gesture. In our daily life, we're not on and off. We're on 24 hours a day in our life. We all are light workers, all of us. We all carry that light within us. And so we're serving the love on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, in a kind gesture, in connecting with that God spark, with that divinity, with everyone. And that is serving the love. And no matter what we do, even if we follow a regular day-to-day job, we are there in contact with it. We're vibrating, we're resonating this beautiful energy. And every person we talk to, we send that love. It's a very simple exercise to just always imagine the pink ray of cosmic love to just flow through us, and we beam it to these people through our eyes, through our hearts, constantly. And the more we can expand the moments of sending love, the longer it gets, the more intense it gets. This is where we are going to, where we all become ascendant masters eventually. But we can already start living like one today, now. Yes.
Very exciting. And so we have like 30 seconds. Why don't you, in 30 seconds, tell everybody, I mean, you've said it over and over again, but one last time what you'd like to share with the world.
Love yourself. Love everyone around you. Have compassion for your journey. No matter what you experience, have compassion for your journey in this transitional time. And have compassion for all the journeys of others. They're all on the same journey. They're all in the same boat, and they're trying their best, just as you do, always.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So if anybody wants any information, Alan, 805-687-2053, 805-687-2053. Good night. We love you. Thank you for coming. Good night.